Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, I thought I'd just share with you how we've done with the fruit in the fruit garden and the grapes and everything else. This is the pomegranate. Now, I haven't pruned this. This is probably about 2 years old. No fruit at the moment, so I'll have to do a little bit of reading up on that. But it looks nice and healthy. It's had to have some water. There's not enough water in the ground, especially while it's in the greenhouse. And then we're going on to the peach tree. This is the seed, the growing seed that actually started growing in the compost. So that came out about 2 years ago, and this is ready for a prune. I have looked up on this and I do know how to prune it, but I'm going to leave it a wee bit longer, but I may just do a summer prune on it. It seems to be holding up well. The grape in the greenhouse, it's very prolific, as we know all grapes are. That one's just trying to hide its way into there, but I'm just trying to get it to grow around. And I believe these are possibly also the Boscoop Glory. Moving outside, and the runners that have come outside and now started to climb the arbour, so that'll be nice to sit there and just pick a few grapes when they're ready. This is one of the grapes at the outside of the greenhouse that we thought wasn't going to make it. That one's doing really well, and the one that we thought was completely dead is holding its own. If it can last this coming winter, I think this one will creep up this side of the greenhouse nicely as well. Fruit trees, we took all the fruits off that we didn't want to grow this time. And this is a Braeburn. Into a nice size, nice and clean, but been having to keep watering them. Well, my big mistake was I should have put a pipe in the ground so that I could water like you should do trees. I've been watering from the surface. That's not going to do the tree any good, but they're still alive. They wouldn't have been if I hadn't watered. I've done the pruning. I'm no expert at pruning, so I didn't want to show that. There's other good people about that do a lot of pruning. That's the plum. And then we've got the conference pear. These are the old cherries. I had 3 cherries from one of the cheap supermarkets. I put 3 in here. There's the other stem I've cut back now, and luckily enough it's the middle one that actually took, so that will now spread out that way and this way. The conference pear, I might take that off. It's not got any bigger, it's not done any good, and it won't do the tree any good trying to make that fruit. I think this is the plum. It looks very similar to the one that I bought recently. A little bit of pruning on that, trying to get it to grow how I want it to. Now, this one had a label on it saying it was a Granny Smith, but I don't think Granny Smiths look like that, so it may have been mislabeled. This is the only one of the fruit trees I bought 2 years ago that had the label on, and I think it might have been mislabeled. We don't mind. We'll still enjoy the fruits. We've been lucky enough to have a van driver drop off 60 blue barrels. Luckily enough I was here, so I've picked some of the cleaner ones, but he's been dotting them all over the allotments, all free to a good home. We love free. They do want a good clean though. Due to the drought, I've had this water barrel here and I've been watering regularly, and it has paid off because we're getting some really nice berries. Very nice indeed. And I'm going to give these a feed of comfrey today. The blackberries are now coming into their own, and if I can just find one, we've got some really nice ones, and we always know when these are ready if you just very, very carefully twist it to one side, and they're good to go. I wasn't sure how to prune this variety, so I left the old growth, but it looks like this year's growth has given the best crop, where the old growth gave me an early crop but not very many. So we know what to do this year. I'm now down to the last few black currants. Now, people saying you know, pick them off individually. I literally get both hands with all your fingers and then just run your fingers up the stems and pull all the black currants off. Any that fall down are collected in an old plastic meat tray down there, and these have been down here for a while and they're still in good nick. Warm and nice. This blueberry bush has had the best recovery ever. Now, it got really dry, all these fruits, or the smaller ones, all wrinkled up, and I'll give it 2 cans of water plus that rain that we had recently. We had about an inch here, and it's recovered really well, and we're picking a few berries off it, so really good. And this, by the look of it now, after looking around, is the last of the red currants. And these have probably been the best that they've ever been. Really nice. Unfortunately, I must have pruned the other bush slightly wrong, and I didn't get any fruit at all on it. But these will go to the harvest for today. And finally, as we move into the polytunnel, not sure whether you're going to see these, but as you can see, they're all turning nicely. And excuse me, this is the one you saw last time. It's like trying to get the camera angle right and lighting, but they look, they're not quite there yet, but taste okay. So I must have done something right, and the recording I did on the pruning, which is on my playlist, I will follow again next time. Well, we've got a nice little harvest there. These are absolutely gorgeous, and now I know where the main fruit is fruiting from. I know how to prune those. The blackberries, I wasn't overly struck on them last year, but they are coming on leaps and bounds now they're established. The raspberries, they had water about 3 or 4 weeks before we had the storm. Red currants, I've been picking them for a long time now, as you know, and this is the bulk of the black currants left. Just drag them straight off the bush. I can sit now and watch some YouTube videos while I'm cleaning those up. Now, I did have some more raspberries and some more blackberries, but unfortunately, or fortunately, the man in the van turned up again. So 1 or 2 of the plot holders, or quite a few of the plot holders, have given him some vegetables and fruit, etc. Well worth it. These barrels are a lifeline for us plot holders. Well, it's nice to have a little bit of shade in the harbour near to the wildlife garden. It hasn't done as well this year, mainly because of the drought, but there's absolutely loads of little flying insects enjoying it. so it was all well worthwhile. I had to switch the pond pump off. It was losing too much water through evaporation. And now I've got all these extra barrels, it's got my mind thinking. Won't need them all for water, but I am going to be replacing the metal containers there that got the wine weevil in, and going to make some strawberry towers. I'm off for a week and a half, which is good for me, bad for you because you're going to get bombarded with videos. Hope you don't mind. Try not to miss any. If you like the videos I do, please subscribe, like, share, and just looking at some of the bits on YouTube where I can look and see what people are watching at the moment, and everybody's watching the leaf mould one, and the fruit cage build is just dropping off now, so it's seasonal. My old videos are being watched regularly. Thank you for taking the time to watch the ads, or skip them if you need to, but the funds are there now for me to enter all the giant vegetables into the Malvern show, so that will help me. Also, hashtag trommel build, that's going to be built over the next week, so stay in touch, stay subscribed. Till next time, my friends, ta-ra for now.